apparently it is all down to women. Yes, the women in his life. And Janet, I know you're a keen tennis player, you follow tennis as well. And what did you think when you saw this? Because she was saying, you know, it's really not just his coach, but his wife, his mum, everybody involved, all women.
I think what she's saying is that he's got emotional intelligence, because at the level he's playing tennis, there's not much to choose between the top 4 players, whether it's Djokovic, Federer or whatever. They're all brilliant sports people. So when you're playing someone at that level, you've got to anticipate what they're going to do. It's about your intelligence, and also about how you deal with losing when you're down in the game, how you come back. And she's saying that being surrounded by women has taught him to deal with the emotions and not to hold them in, to let them out. And there has been a big difference in how he appears on the court. Yeah. I mean, just watching him on Sunday at the Queen's final on the television, it was really interesting watching how confident he is.
She was saying a lot of guys, when they're on tour, they bottle up their emotions, they don't talk to their male coaches, and not just about their game, but if there's something going on in their private life, might have fallen out with their girlfriend or something.
I think it's interesting because his main rival, Djokovic, gave an interview at the weekend where, and of course, Djokovic, like Andy Murray, spent all his teenage years being coached by a woman, because Andy was coached by his mum and Djokovic was coached by a female tennis champion as well. And now Djokovic meditates and does the, you know, and freely talks about the, you know, being in touch with his inner self. Well, if only more business people and only more politicians did all that and weren't embarrassed about talking about their emotions.
So do you think that makes women in business better than men because we're more intuitive?
I don't think so, because women in business aren't usually that kind, you know, they're not usually emotionally available. When I think of like CEOs and women who run these huge corporations, they usually have a masculine quality, a quite, you know, hard as nails image. I can't think of one person that has, you know, that's overly feminine.
Well, do you see, I think that's a bit of a stereotype for women. I think it's really difficult for women. So they make their way up the career ladder. When they get to a certain level, they're accused of losing their femininity, or even if they look feminine, people say, oh, yeah, but she's hard, she's really hard. They go, well, you don't say that about men. You know, if a man walks in, you might say, oh, he's in a great suit, he looked fabulous, and he's such a great businessman.
But is that not what it takes to you know, you have to think, women who strive for success, you do have to have... And I don't know. I don't even think it's weird to say it is a masculine quality. It is. It's, you know, that kind of aggression. That is what's required to have that kind of success.
But is it aggression or is it just ambition? And to be ambitious, you have to push sometimes. It doesn't necessarily make you aggressive. I always think when it's ambition, they talk about a man. It's, you know, he's ambitious. When they talk about a woman, she's aggressive.
But if you look at the boss who's... There are not very many men who run big companies who you could say were in touch with their feminine side. But if you take Christopher Bailey, for example, who's the CEO of Burberry and one of the highest paid company heads in the whole of UK, I think his salary is about 8 million, his last pay or something. But he's running a multinational corporation. You know, he's gay, he's in a civil partnership. He's a fantastically accommodating guy. You could say, well, he's in the fashion industry, but it's not.
No,
but not because it's a business.
Does it work for him because he's a man? If he was a woman, would that work for her?
What do you mean? If a woman was...
If a woman was that... You know, if a woman was just a woman... Well,
I've run big, you know, departments and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, but you're scary. Exactly.
No. I'm not scary till I get my way. Then I'm not.
I'd be scared. I am scared every week.
No, I think clever women... I mean, there's a woman who's the Deputy Governor of the Bank of England, and she gave an interview that's in the papers today where she said that if women were running banks, we would never have had the 2008, you know, financial meltdown. Yeah. It's true, isn't it? Women in business do bring something to it, but I can't divide successful women. I can't say they're all masculine or all feminine. I think women are cleverer at picking, in any situation, what's going to get them a result.
Because they've got emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Exactly, which is what Andy's tapped into.
Yes.
Do whatever it takes.
I feel like I'm on a very sexist panel today. It's only consolation, I love men.
Well, let's hope Andy's feminine side brings him win that Wimbledon championship.
Yeah.